Hi, my name is Goldman. I'm the director and founder of Goldman & Associates. Our firm has a primary focus on family law issues here in Michigan. And today we're continuing our video series designed to educate the public, so please subscribe to our channel. Let's talk a little bit about mediators. In a lot of divorce cases, they end up going to a mediator. What's a mediator? In most cases, it's a non-judicial functionary. It's usually a lawyer. It could be a retired judge, somebody whose job it is not to advocate. Somebody whose job it is to find out what the respective positions are and try to find some ways, a happy middle point where we can get it resolved. Do you have to use a mediator? Probably not. The parties have to agree on a mediator. If they don't agree, then they don't have to go to a mediator unless the court orders it. If the court orders it, you got to go to a mediator whether you agree or not. Why? Because the judge said so. That's why. So, and you need to be aware that in most cases, the court does like to order mediation in cases that haven't on their own settled. Sometimes, and this is always the case in life, sometimes you need to hear things from another source in order to bring people to the bargaining table. Sometimes that has to happen. In other words, if your ex tells you, look, we have to sell the house and split the proceeds. Maybe you don't trust your ex. Maybe you think there's some kind of scam going on there. House is going to be undersold. He's going to collect money at the end, something like that. And even if your ex's lawyer tells you that, or even if your lawyer tells you that, you may suspect the motives. You may think, oh, my lawyer's just trying to finish the case quickly. Or I can't trust the other lawyer because he represents my wife. You know, that kind of thing. You may suspect the motives. And because of that, sometimes it's helpful to get a mediator. A mediator, like I said, could be a lawyer, usually is, could be a retired judge or something like that. But the point is, the mediator is somebody who really, other than serving as a mediator, doesn't have a horse in the race. It doesn't care if you settle your case or not. He's going to make best efforts to try and get it settled. The mediator's costs are being paid typically by both sides equally. The mediator really doesn't have a position. And I will tell you this, having sat as a mediator many, many times, the goal is sometimes to come up with a position that the parties may have even thought about before, but they needed to hear from a third party, you know what, this is probably what the judge is going to do, so save yourself the money and do it this way. Or, this is reasonable because of reasons A, B, C, and D. The mediator may also say to one of the parties or their attorneys, I understand what you're asking for, I have to tell you, it's completely unreasonable. There's no reason in the world why they should accept it. The mediator will use shuttle diplomacy as they go from one side to the other, either virtually or otherwise, to try and find out exactly what's going on and try to find a way to get the parties to come to a resolution. The courts send cases to mediation all the time. You know why? Primarily because most judges don't feel that they should tell you, you shall do this and you shall do that in the context of your marriage. Okay? The courts would really rather have you guys resolve it amongst yourself with the help of a mediator if need be. Because, and you will also find this too, it's better for you to come to some sort of resolution, however begrudgingly, than to say, no, we have no resolution, and then the guy in the black robe has to say, okay, you're going to see your kid on these days, you're going to see him on these days, I don't care what your work schedule is, I don't care what you got going on, this is my ruling. Now you're stuck with it. So sometimes it's better to come to your own accord on how these things should go rather than to chance it with the court, and the mediator can help you do that. If you have any questions about your case, reach out. We'll be glad to help you out.